Are you
On the
trying to
flip
tell
side,
me right now that people can use AI in combination with their religion in order to have a more expanded perspective and understanding, thus trying to make them more empathetic and open to the plights of others, and then creating a greater acceptance of peoples who are different?
couldn't have said it better myself. However, caveat, we thought that about social media too. And
Jesus.
what it, and the only thing it ended up doing was locking us into our own echo chambers, right? And so we actually gained less of an understanding of how other people work because we were able to find those little niche areas where, oh no, this person has the same beliefs as me. So that makes me feel a little bit more okay about, my maybe crappy
Which
beliefs
is
that
why
I
I'm
might have about
starting
humanity.
frankbible.ai, the only AI to use if you really believe in the same religion as me. None others. I've used it to train off all the good dogma, none of the bad dogma, and you should only use this and make sure you homeschool your kids with it.
Yeah, and expanding on this, like
That's
I
what's going
call
to
the
come.
I call the
Sorry.
Bible and Quran and Torah a data set, and in this case, it is right. It's something that ChatGPT can refer to, and something that we again refer to as human beings. We still interpret it differently, and ChatGPT would still interpret it differently as well, right? So it all depends on like the kind of context that you put around it. And so another thing that's a data set is us and our past behaviors and our past recordings of things. And that's another thing that ChatGPT and other LLMs are grabbing from. And so, and social media and Reddit is a really big feed for GPT, especially, I've noticed. And so, those are things you need to be cognizant of while you're bouncing ideas off of it, because it might be pulling information from a bad source. It might be pulling information, maybe not a bad source isn't the right way to put it, but not a source that you would necessarily
Well,
want
it
to base
depends
any of
on
your.
which version of the Bible you're using and whether it's a bad source. Come now.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
being
yeah.
sarcastic.
King,
That's sarcasm, but
King James
also
versus,
not based
yeah,
off denomination experience.
King James versus what's the new something Bible? I can't even
There's
remember
new
what it's.
international
New
version,
International. Thank you.
and the fights were real in the '90s. Holy
Yeah,
cow!
yeah. And apologies to our folks out there. Frank and I were just raised in the West, so the Bible is the one we go to. However,
Yeah.
we do understand that there is the Torah, that there are other religious texts out there,
Also,
ones that we are not even referring to right now. And really sorry about that. There's we're not endorsing one versus the other.
uh,
We're just talking in a context
I
that we
just had
understand.
a. Do you think there's different versions of like the Torah and the Quran? And they're like, no, but this is the special version because you know how growing up, I'm sure they still exist. How they put out different versions of the Bible, and
Yeah,
then they put out versions of the Bible, different translations that then had, that pastor or whoever who would like eat for every Bible verse chunk. They'd be like, now
here's
here's
the
what it really
interpretation. Yeah,
means, and this is
yeah.
how you should really think about it. Oh my gosh, I never thought
But
of it
if
in
you
the
think
context
about
of
it,
the
like on
religious.
that note, Frank, though, so this is a way for you to, and for some of us, our spirituality or our relationship with God or gods or entities is very personal, right? And
100%.
so instead of having a priest or a pastor or a rabbi talk to you and tell you how you should be interpreting these things, it is just you talking with something that's going to, but again, you just have to be cognizant that it's going to reflect back a lot of like how you feel about things. Or it's like, that is a good point. That's what ChatGPT tends to do. You
Right.
can change the settings on it to not agree with you, but then it's just following an algorithm. And that's another really important thing to think about. It still is your mind that you need to, and your belief of like whether you believe in a soul or a spark or whatever it is you might believe that your
They all spark,
spirituality is.
like Optimus
It's
Prime told us.
That's
Continue.
right. That's right. It is, you need to make sure that you're kind of understanding that what you're doing is you're basically having a conversation with yourself, just with an external feed of something else, and understanding and being aware of that external feed. The same way you would be with, I would hope you would be with a member of the clergy. However, the member of the clergy, like that's their job. That's their main job in life, is to study the religious text of your choice and to be able to talk you through an issue you're having, a crisis you're having, whatever it is, within that sense. So, in no way would I say that this is a replacement for that, but for your own personal relationship and your own personal study, I think it's great for that.